under that radio thing?
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery, but the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
This is quite upbeat music for a ghost story. And there it goes. Oh, the car. Huh, if I like zoom in on this. Okay. That's kind of cool. I wish I would have known that earlier. Everything I kind of zoom in on gives me a little sound bit. Or not everything, but most things. Are there any more of these little caves? Oh, there's one more over there, I think. Walking over there. I want the happy music to come back. Oh, I don't think I can get to that. Okay. If this guy's walked the thing a million times, you don't think he'd make like a staircase leading straight out to the place where I assume he's going so he doesn't have to swim through a cavern, walk across a long, wet, creepy beach every single time.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
Light from heaven shone around. Oh, shone around him. Light from heaven shone around him. Okay. I was thinking while I was in that cave, it was really seemed like a kind of heaven and hell scenario. Like the blue places were kind of heavenly, and then the kind of creepy red places were kind of helly or hellish, or I don't know. Probably overthinking it again.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic. And I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
They're not sinking, though. None of them are sunk at all. Oh, it's really dark underwater. Okay. Okay, did I make it like permanently darker on my screen or something? Because I can't see anything now. Or because the moon is setting. I can't see anything now. What the hell? Light driven. Orus sudden. And he fell to the ground. On a sudden, the light shone around him and he fell to the ground. I did something because it's dark now. I can't see as good as I could. Oh, there it goes. I don't know if you guys could actually see that or not, if that was just my monitor, but it
A
looked
sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal as I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
Yeah. Oh. Is that a grave? Oh, I can't get up to it yet. You know, climb back up the hill and take the left path. Go, 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 go. Oh.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
And he was proceeding on his journey. Oh. Come near something.
only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Sure wish I could read what was written on these cliffs, but I just can't read them. They're too...
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
Wow. This is just gorgeous. Just beautiful. And I came past that as I made my journey. There's no way I can read this. I think that's the one I just read. No, is it? I don't know. I can't read it. It's way too close. Nui? Noon? The... something from heaven. Great. Oh my god, it goes on forever. I can't read it. If you guys want to read it.
He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
I'm really not following this story. I'm trying to, but I don't understand what's damages.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jacobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.